I want to kind of share and have you share your story in terms of like how you got started with making money online. And maybe you could talk about like the different things that you've done and whatnot. But how did you get started, man, as like a young teenager, 14, 15, and now you're 17, like get into this online making money game?
So it all started with my mindset. Like I never wanted to be poor, and I never want to have a job. I know what it's like to be like that, and I don't want to have to deal with that. So I've always wanted to make money outside of the conventional ways of making money, and I also knew that I don't have to be doing lawn mowing and stuff, and that I can make a lot of money online, and that a lot of other people are doing that too. So I had a few websites like in eighth grade, and so I started two websites, and they both flopped and they failed. But the way I'm thinking is that even when they fail, I'm just going to keep on pushing forward and just try something else and just keep on failing until something works. So that's kind of my philosophy on life. So going into ninth grade, I I heard about reselling. So I basically got onto eBay and I sold a few items for my house, just some junk, some old shoes, some just
Mhm.
random junk, and I made $80. So then that was eighty
Wow.
dollars I didn't have in my pocket before. So I started with no money. I made $80 just from some junk, and then I had $80 in my pocket. And then I learned about reselling stuff that you would buy in stores. Like I could go to Goodwill or go to Five Below or other stores and then resell that stuff on Amazon and on eBay. Before that, I didn't even know you could sell on Amazon. But because of channels like Raiken Profit and other YouTube channels, I learned that you actually can resell. So I took the $80 I had in my pocket. I went to Goodwill and I spent it all on board games and toys and just complete junk. But one man's junk is another man's treasure.
Mm.
So I spent I spent all this money, all the money I had in my pocket, and I bought a ton of stuff and I sent it all into Amazon. And this was around November or October, so it was getting into fourth quarter, and Christmas time was coming up, and sales were doing pretty good. I was starting to get some sales just off of these board games and toys and stuff. So then, as I was selling the stuff, the Amazon paychecks would come in every 2 weeks. So every paycheck I got, I would go back to Goodwill, buy more items, and send them back to Amazon. Eventually, I got into Five Below. I would buy items for $5 and resell them on Amazon for $15. And the really good thing about this was that I could buy about 10 of these. I could buy 10
Mm.
of one item from Five Below and send them all into Amazon. So then it was a little bit more scalable. So this was like what I was really passionate about at the time. It was a lot of fun. It was like a treasure hunt trying to find all these products. And I I made a little bit of money, but the amount of time I spent researching and working on this business, it really didn't make me that much. And it was probably way under minimum wage, but it was a good start. And it actually taught me that you can make money online selling stuff. So that was really amazing, and I was very proud of myself. I think one month I did $1,000 in sales, but it ended up being like very low in profit. But that was just a great start. So eventually, after fourth quarter ended and Christmas time was over, I had about $500 in my pocket. So I went from $0 to $500 pretty quickly in a few months without having a job. I was 14 at the time. I couldn't even get a job in my town.
It's a lot of money for a 14-year-old, $500.
Yeah, it was pretty good money. I worked my ass off for it, so it was a good start. So then I learned about Kindle publishing from Steve Raiken here, and from Dave Koziel and from other people on YouTube, and people were making good money with this. So I said, you know what, Kindle publishing seems like a better opportunity right now. Reselling, I would have to go out to stores, go on a treasure hunt trying to find it. But with Kindle publishing, it was more scalable, and I could do it all from my house. And this was just another way to make money online that I tried, and I was committed to my success. I knew other people were making very good money off of it. So I committed to putting out books consistently. So with the $500 I had in my pocket, I didn't spend it on toys. I didn't spend it on a new phone or any gadgets. I spent it all on my business. So I published, I think it was like 5 books at the time. I started having some success. Some books would work, some books wouldn't. And I consistently learned. So eventually I ran out of money, and all I had was some books making a little bit of profit every single day. Every book I'd put up, I'd make a little bit more money. But the thing was, it would take 60 days for the money to hit my bank account from Amazon.
Mm.
So in the meantime, I just had to spend that time learning. So it was a blessing in disguise. I just really, really worked on my books, and I just researched a lot. So eventually I got pretty good at this. So every single paycheck I'd get from Amazon, I'd instantly get my ghostwriters and graphic designers to work together, and we'd put up another book on topic people were searching for. And then I'd reinvest all my profits back into getting more books. So this was a good little business, and every time I get a paycheck, I'd reinvest it. And I did build up my income pretty high, probably to maybe $2,000 a month in revenue. The profits weren't that amazing because I was consistently reinvesting, but it was really awesome. And then eventually Amazon changed their algorithm, and my income got sliced in half, just like many other people's income. But that was a blessing in disguise too.
Me too. Happened to me.
It wasn't fun, but we changed our strategies, and eventually we were making very good money again. And eventually I just made so much money, I kind of stopped doing it, and Amazon kind of changed again, and stuff happened. But then I had all this money in my pocket, and it was very nice being 15 with all that money. And then people started moving into e-commerce, and I said, why not try that too? I had success with reselling, success with Kindle publishing, and why don't I have success with reselling? And it would be reselling in the same way, but it would be on a larger scale with e-commerce on your own sites. And what's even better about this is that we could wholesale products and get a ton of products, or dropship a ton of products, and you could sell the same item over and over again, just like Kindle books. So I started a site. It was a cool brand just selling like T-shirts and stuff, and it really made me learn Facebook ads. So I was struggling for a while, for 8 months, trying to get into e-commerce, losing a lot of money with Facebook ads, but eventually it clicked, and I actually figured out how to use them properly and how to use Shopify right. My coach, Chris Blair, he really helped me out a lot. And when the Facebook ads worked, that was when the money started flowing in again. So my Shopify store went from about $0 or maybe like $500 a day losing money to $10,000 a day, probably within 10 days. So that was truly amazing.
Right after investing in the coach, you said, essentially after going through the training and learning the ups and downs?
Well, it wasn't right after, because I still struggled a lot, but the coach stuck by me, and he was a truly amazing coach. And I eventually figured it out, and it clicked. Just like anything that happens in life, any success that happens, it comes fast, it comes quick. So my one store started taking off. It was making me some money. The thing was that it was print on demand, whereas each item sells, it would get shipped out by the company or the t-shirt company that would print it. So the profit margins weren't that good. So I went on with this one site for a little while, and then I met my business partner. He was just a regular friend at the time. He had a site himself, and he was doing very good numbers too. So we decided to partner up on a general store, and this general store would sell all types of trendy products, and just the trendiness of the products would make it sell. And we kind of struggled again. We went through the struggling phase again. For a few months, we were losing money on this store. And then one day, something clicked again. We finally find the right product. And that really taught us that very big part of the game. You just have to find the right product. And once you have the right product, advertising it is easy.